All right. So, Kriana, we'll just have this conversation normally between you and I, but everyone else, all you hear is barking.
Yeah.
Maybe some growls
Well,
here and there, or some whimpers, depending on how the
Yeah.
conversation goes.
Mm.
Um, so she will find the werewolf who calls himself Veermal, and he will at the princess's prodding lap at the tea, and we can basically just skip until maybe about 20 minutes or so. He seems a bit more relaxed. He sits on his haunches like a wolf would
Mhm.
do, and he kind of just gazes upward at the sky.
Well, we'll start with an icebreaker here. So Finn kind of trots over and sits down next to him and says, "So, what are you looking at?"
He looks to you. It's nighttime, by the way. At this point, he says,
Yeah.
"The moon."
Hmm. Yeah, it's very nice. You like the moon? Don't laugh at me.
and I'm
He
laughing.
he says, "I used to, but now I feel compelled to like it, and I hate that."
What if I could tell you a way that you can look at the moon, but on your own free will, and like it on your own free will?
You can cure me.
Well, sort of.
The werewolf looks
How,
down at you.
what what are your thoughts on being a werewolf? Tell me.
He growls
Level with me.
and says,
Yeah.
"It is like everything you were was ripped out of your mind and replaced with a monster. I have killed. I have drank blood. It sickens me."
Mm. So you don't think things could get any worse? You feel like you've hit rock bottom?
He looks at you for a long time. "If you're telling me there is no cure, then I would say it's gotten worse."
Mm-hmm. Well, I will be completely upfront with you. The only way you'll ever be able to be human again, granted not fully, but enough that you can start to find happiness again, is if you fully accept that you are what you are now.
He shakes his head. "I am confused. In order to become what I am not, you want me to accept what I am?"
Yeah, I know, it sounds kind of weird, doesn't it?
He nods. "How? You said there's no cure, but you say I can be human."
Hmm. You'll always be a little bit of what you are now, but you'll be able to do what your leader does, go into human form. Would
She.
that be better than what you're at now?
He looks over at the princess and he says, "She looks human, but she is not
Mhm.
human.
No.
That is all you offer?"
Well, okay. Let's think about this. I'm not typically what you see right here. I'm typically an elf, and you know, I think I would be okay not being an elf, going back to the way things were, considering my people are kind of shoddy. High elf, you know. Maybe you don't know. Anyway, we're typically jerks. But you guys can start something new. You can be better than humans. You can be better than werewolves. You can be the difference for so many people.
He considers your words and he says, "All I want is what I was. What do you mean, be so many things for different people?"
What you represent could mean a lot to people. Being able to change, being able, instead of being monsters that are feared, you can be something that people look up to.
He raises a wolf eyebrow. "I am a monster. Humans try to kill me. They do not look up to me."
Well, with that line of thinking, then what hope is there?
He looks at you curiously. "I was hoping you would have that answer."
I can only tell you what I know. If you truly have hope that you'll be back to normal, then that's false thinking. You need to put that hope, that thought process into something that might be able to make you slightly what you used to be.
Hope is the only thing that has kept me going. What else could I rely on if not hope?
Okay, then if you put hope into what I say, what's the harm? Accepting what you are. What else? You said you're losing yourself. This might be your only chance.
He considers your words for a very long time. "It is difficult. It is always possible that a cure may be found one day. But what you asks me to give up hope forever. If I am to accept what I am, I must destroy any thoughts of becoming what I was. It is difficult." He looks at you as though he is considering your words. And then he says, "If you were like me, not your companion wolf, who you love, but a monster who has killed innocents against his will. If you gave up hope, what would you look to?"
Let me tell you something. I made a wish. It was selfish. And as a result, a lot of people died. I know what it feels like. I didn't think that what I did would have that kind of result. I'm sure you have the same feeling, a feeling of hopelessness. Right now, I'm doing everything I can, and I don't even know if I'm doing the right thing. But I can't just not do anything. I have to try something, even if it seems impossible. I would gladly sacrifice my life, knowing that I could make a difference.
He is quiet for a long time and then says, "You are saying that you are..." He pauses. "Accepting no hope in return to keep your mistake from harming others?"
I guess you can put it like that.
"So, I sacrifice what I was to keep others from becoming what I am?"
I know it's not easy, but that's kind of the life we lead, buddy.
He is quiet for a very, very long time. And then he shakes his head and he says, "If it is too late for me, if accepting that fate can allow me to keep another from experiencing it, then I think I could do that."
Finn kind of solemnly nods her head.
And he looks at you and then he says, "Your mistake, your wish. Do you blame yourself for the effects of it?"
Yes, I do.
"Do you blame me for those I killed?"
I don't blame you, but I'm sure you blame yourself.
He shakes his head. "And you shouldn't blame yourself either. I did not murder things. The ones that did this to me." He taps himself. "Perhaps I am not the only one that needs to accept what I am."
She actually just does not respond. She just looks down solemnly.
He, after a few seconds, actually bends down and nuzzles your forehead with his nose, and then gets up and walks away.
Scene!
Scene! End scene!
Yay!
Yeah,
I like the part where you whimpered and growled afterwards.
that was a damn good tactic. I didn't think you should have to roll after that one.
I was like, what can I do? Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, so we'll handle this a bit narratively. He draws together the other werewolves and they all lap the tea because you don't drink. Which, by the way, Finn, have fun with that.
Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure high
yeah.
elves don't typically lap.
She will attempt to sip things.
They will drink the tea, and for many, many hours,
Sorry. Can I just have Pearson make one observation?
Sure.
He looks over to Finn and Baby Junior's body and say, "I never thought seeing a wolf try to sip was as hilarious as an attempt to walk by Kip."
She shoots you a dirty look.
Keen shoots him a dirty look.
Kip shoots him a dirty
Pearson,
look.
you know what? Pearson rebels in his non-verbal communication and gives them both the finger.
Jerick keeps rubbing BJ's back.
Dicks!
Oh man. All right.
Talk with your eyes next. Talk with your eyes.
I noticed Kip didn't get a finger. That's good. He did well. All right. The werewolves discuss things late into the night, which to everyone except for Baby Junior and Cole a little bit sounds like barking and howling. And the next morning, and of course, if you have any interactions during the night, let me know. Just stop me.
Okay.
The next morning, the princess comes to you and says, "I don't know what you did, but they seem different. They can't turn into human or anything, but they are calmer, less angry. Perhaps it is a start. I will work with them." And she shrugs. "It took me a few days to achieve my form. With luck, maybe they can too." What are your intentions after this?
Well, for now, we're stuck in these states until a new leader is sitting upon the throne of Colhaven. And after that, well, we'll see where it goes. Hopefully, we can get some allies that can prove helpful in the battle against Azale.
She shakes her head. She says, "That's not exactly what I meant. You have done my people a great service. Not just these werewolves, but Colhaven. So I will be as honest with you as I can. They may accept who they are now, but they will never be able to forgive the one that did this to them. You need a new ruler for Colhaven. But they," she shrugs, "will want justice, blood. I'm not sure which to call it. It is possible that if they can regain their memories back and expose him, that his troops will side with me, with them. But..." She shrugs again. She says, "I have no wish to see that fool murdered. But I am the exception to the rule, and I will not stop them."
Well,
Pearson is going to accept whatever consequence, because trying to figure out this rhyme, he says something too fast and too much from the heart in order to try and make a rhyme. So we'll see what happens. But he'll just simply say, "If you don't want to be monsters, then don't fucking act like that."
You experience a strong shock, almost like Inferno. Like if someone were to rub their feet on the carpet and then touch you, think that times 2 or 3. It doesn't really cause damage, but it is incredibly uncomfortable.
Okay. Gives a pained grimace.
She looks to Pearson and then says, "You convinced them once. Perhaps you can do so again. I have not been successful. Though she says, though, to be fair, I'm not sure they're wrong, so perhaps I have not had the same passion you would."
Jerick looks at Pearson, starts trying to talk with him with his eyes, then immediately gives up, and Jerick says,
"How about we return in a few days? You said you wanted some time to help your brethren recuperate with their lots in life. We need time too. The weight of the world is on our shoulders. We'll be back."
She nods and she says, "You have, as I said, done us a great service. You are welcome to stay or go as you please."
Jerick looks at the others.
"Come along, champions and ladies to lean. Let's start walking."
Pearson nods.
all right.
Jerick begins striding quickly out of this locale.
Yep. Pearson will he'll join.
"Cole, are we being followed? Cole, are we being followed? Cole, are we being followed? Cole, are we being followed?"
Cole checks if we're being followed.
Cole, roll to see if you're being followed. Do a tracking roll.
Would I be able to tell?
You can always try, sure. Do a bounty hunter, yeah.
With my
Jerick's
super
not
hearing?
gonna ask Key.
What about the super senses of the dragon?
I would say that your bonus is going to be about the same, simply because your senses as a dragon are not 100% what you are used to.
Okay.
So we'll just leave it as the bounty hunter check. With, of course, level and an appropriate ability modifier.
Is anyone following us, Queen?
You are incredibly you are both extremely confident that no one is following you.
All right. No.
All
Nope.
right. Good. What are your intentions?
Pearson will pause for a second.
We
And
can
he'll
have
say-
you right if necessary, Pearson. so
But
that you
yeah,
will-
Pearson will nod and say, no, he'll just nod.
We could arrange that. There's enough paper.
Okay.
You can tear something out of the journal so that you
Okay.
can write in a hard surface.
Sure. So Pearson will write out his thoughts now. So when he's speaking in character, it's all written out in his big, careful, blocky script with spelling errors. He'll simply say that it's no good. There's no point in us trying to help the werewolves help them become human, only to have them kill people again or have them kill each other. That was the whole point of this. So we have to come to there's some sort of compromise that has to be made.
Look. Prince Eodrin is not going to enter into any sort of compromise. I managed to salvage what I could diplomatically. He was expecting the location of these creatures so that they could all be butchered. And if what you learn from the wizard, the stranger, is correct, then he intentionally had the stranger create this condition for his own inscrutable but probably selfish reasons. By turning those creatures into giving them human form and allowing them to regain their memories, we're perhaps weakening the person we want to oust, the mad ruler of Coalhaven, so that we could have a decent ally to assist all of our other allies in removing the demons. If we're going to make use out of Prince Eodrin, then we can't have him be weakened by this. I'm not even sure he would be. He'd probably kill them all anyway. What do they matter, low-born?
Pearson simply writes, I don't see either the prince or princess being worthy rulers to Coalhaven. The prince, you're right, is a tyrant, but the princess shows no leadership. We solved her problem, and now we are expected to talk to the people that she has known for years. What does that tell you?
Jerick shrugs like, maybe she does not want the burden of leadership. Not that I could blame her. I've not wanted many things I've got in my life. Look, there's no better option. Prince Eodrin is the strongest and most capable. If the people found out that the princess were a monster, that's unacceptable. And the only alternative is the 3-year-old regent with someone, hopefully Master Harkin, being in a position of power, which would technically fulfill the new rulership qualities that would get all of your spells removed. Otherwise, I'll have to work on that.
Pearson writes down, all right, what the prince wants is the eradication of these werewolves. He doesn't want them around. He feels that they are attacking his people. But what if we got rid of them in another way? We give them another home. We've given them the freedom outside their bestial form. Now we give them another home where they can live in peace and live on their own terms. Nothing is holding them here except circumstance.
And the thought of revenge for their lives being utterly ruined.
Pearson says, I can talk to them about revenge. I know everything about it. I can write it down and you can read it for me. I know everything about revenge. I can make them see the same way.
And even then, that still leaves Prince Eodrin there, who has shown every willingness to convert people against their will into this. There's no telling whether he would do it again.
You said yourself Prince Eodrin was the best choice. So we have to go with our best and only choice, regardless of his morals.
I can't think that you all would think he was the best choice.
We have no other choices. We either start another civil war, or we go with him, have him do what needs to be done to fight these demons, and then we deal with him later on, just like we'll deal with the Lich King.
Jerick wrings his hands looking at the others. Keen, I can't imagine you wanting to keep Prince Eodrin there.
Yes, but just because he's an asshole doesn't mean he deserves to die.
Pearson just writes out the last thing at the very bottom of the page because he's running out of room. I know he can get more paper, but he'll just be like, what's more evil, the demons or this prince?
Cole?
As I said before, and I'll say many times, if we keep going to these negotiations, I do not know about these policies of the land. If this is agreeable, I think I will agree.
I don't care about your damn policies! And Jerick will actually, punch Cole's chest as hard as he can. I care about what's in there!
There's a lot riding on this. An entire kingdom, the army being led by this man. Everything that will happen afterwards in this crazy place, and how much of a mess that we're going to need to clean up right afterwards, and how much we're going to make a mess now. At the moment, the easiest option is to let that man take the throne, bring all of our team back to normal, and having an army at our side. But if you're talking about my feelings, I like to do things the hard way. I would put the lady in the throne, and I would have done it by my own hand if I needed to. She seems competent and doesn't chain lives into beasts.
Jerick gives a small thankful nod at Cole's words, and then looks at Finn and says, all right, yap once for Prince Eodrin, yap twice for the princess.
she kind of sighs. Bark, bark.
Should have killed them all in the first place. I even bothered trying to help.
All right, so I can't believe I am even thinking at all that Prince Eodrin would not be the best option in our situation. He would certainly be the quickest option for getting you all removed of these damned spells. My great concern is by defying the will of Prince Eodrin, we, in your current weakened conditions, will have to deal with the wrath of a prince who will attempt to... Even if we could easily defeat whatever he'd sent at us, the mere fact that he would be hostile towards us means that Colhaven wouldn't help us at all. I think the only way to really get Prince Eodrin on our side is for us to inform him of the location of these werewolves and for them to be exterminated. I don't see there being a better way. And I really don't see there being a better way with how little breathing room we have in talking with him. I'm not even sure we could get another audience with him, unless it's specifically this information. He nearly had him calling the entire guard and us having to fight our way out of a fort. Which is not to say we couldn't have done it, but would have hampered our objective. The princess, at least, she would be a better person, if nothing more, as a regent for the little girl until she grew up and came into power. And if she actually is as weak-willed as Pearson thinks, that means she's malleable. We can control her.
Pearson will just write down, there's always a third way.
Third way.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, Cullimore? Does Pearson
Sorry,
not
Pearson,
know?
sorry, I muted myself. Pearson will
okay.
think for a moment, and then he'll write down, you serve the court, correct?
Yes.
You could always take the throne.
I'm not of the royal bloodline.
So?
I'm just as much of a monster as the werewolves are, if not more so.
I doubt that.
Jerick is not sure how he wants to react to that statement. It's like a mix between like a sneer and like a scoff and a confused expression.
Someone else has to take the throne. If the werewolves can't do it because they're half monsters, and frankly, all good intentions aside, I highly doubt they will allow a werewolf to be the regent to their queen. Nor do you like the prince. Therefore, we need to find a third way. Who knows the demon threat? Jerick. Who knows Cullhaven? Jerick. If we're going to overthrow the prince, let's put the right person in charge, who knows our priorities.
Now you hold on. You were just criticizing the princess for her lack of leadership. I do not have any leadership qualities. I have never wanted to be one of these stupid twin champions for the incompetent ladies to lead.
Exactly. You don't have to be either. You'll be the king of Cullhaven.
I don't want to be the king of Cullhaven.
It's not what you want, it's what we need.
I need the king of Cullhaven.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, Pearson just shrugs and he writes down, it's a third way.
Jerick he'll sputter into silence so other people can talk. He's seething right now.
Frankly, I think it's a great idea. I want to make Jerick king.
I would find it hilarious, honestly. But
Well, I will say,
sorry. Go ahead.
I will say, if we want the princess or Jerick to be enthroned, we might need a more intricate way of doing so. Be very hard to politically put them in place. Seeing that neither of them are of bloodline.
Okay. Metagaming here. If that's okay?
Yeah,
It
that's
is
fine.
absolutely okay.
Okay, metagaming here. This is what I'm thinking. Because my wheels are turning here, right? All right. Jerick's right. He doesn't have the political clout. He doesn't have the bloodline, right? But the next in line after the prince is that small child, right? Mm-hmm. That small child can't rule. There's a regent that rules in her stead, right? All we have to do is convince folks that Jerick should be that regent. Therefore, it's not really King Jerick. He's in the leadership role, but only temporarily. Enough for him to help us fight the demons, and perhaps make sure Cullhaven goes in the right direction. Now, how can we convince people that Jerick is the right person? Well, we have a few things, a few bonuses, right? One is Jerick's previous occupation of the court, right? So he knows proper court manners, right? He knows some faces. Not everyone's going to like him, but he knows them, right? So he's not a complete stranger. 2, we help these werewolves quite a bit. They are owing of our gratitude. 3, we have the truth on our side, which is that the prince purposely had a spell made to use forcefully against his own people. How are his soldiers going to fight for him after that? Why not go with the person not only who exposed the truth, but also fixed it, preventing a civil war in Cullhaven? What better leadership for that young princess? So that's my thought.
Yeah.
All right. How do we put in power the young princess? We have 2 royals that we have to get through, not just one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking easiest way to do it
Hold on,
is to
interrupt.
just... Yeah, okay.
Succession law, Squee. Princess would not be over like the young girl, right? The princess would just serve as regent for her daughter, or would the
Correct.
princess actually rule? Okay,
Correct.
yes.
Yes, the princess would, and I can let you know this because Jerick would know this too. It wouldn't be the first time that, for example, she served as regent in basically queen in all but name. However, if she tried to do so as not a human and that kind of thing were ever found out, Ironhall is not very forgiving.
No.
But she would be a regent technically. She would rule in the little girl's stead in all but name.
And that would be the same concern as well if the princess ever became ruler. If anyone ever found out, if it became public knowledge that she was a werewolf, Ironhall would lose its fucking mind, right?
Yes.
Considering Cullhaven's attitude towards monster things.
Exactly.
Considering peasants' attitudes towards monster things.
Exactly.
Politics.
You guys can't even be fucking entertaining this. What the fuck?
Can't be entertaining what? I'm
You know
entertaining
what I'm
putting you on the fucking throne, you asshole. I can entertain all sorts of stuff.
Richard Harkin! That's the man! Not me! Not Jerick. Not Jerick. Jerick's already got enough power.
The Prince of Thieves? You want to put the Prince of Thieves?
Richard Harkin is not the Prince of Thieves.
No,
Richard
his
Harkin was
teacher.
Jerick's former
Yeah.
mentor who saved Jerick whenever Jerick...
Okay. I'm fine with that, too.
That's what Jerick actually wanted to do. Since Richard Harkin has been in court for so long, the only problem is that the order to which Jerick belongs has apparently fallen out of favor in recent years.
Let's see.
Yes.
Either way,
Sorry. And please trust me when I say this is not GM opinion whatsoever. This is Jerick would know. Also,
Yeah.
he is not very well known. Most people in Ironhall and Cullhaven would be like,
Yeah.
who?
The Order of the Shroud has kept secret for a reason for its hunting of necromancers and dark magic. Of which I am, by the way.
yeah.
It's not as if the peasants will fucking accept that.
Okay.
And if
Hey,
they ever
you
learn
know
you're
what?
the Lich King,
Don't
holy
punish my outside the box thinking, motherfuckers, okay? Don't punish it. Because I do believe that same outside the box thinking also made a giant golem slip on a bunch of oil, and we
Yeah, I know.
fights.
I like
So sometimes you have to just be generous with my.
I'm not attempting to punish you, Inferno, and I hope you
No.
know that. It just
I know that. I'm just
Oh my God.
being facetious now.
Yeah.
whatever we decide to do, I want to do as little bloodshed as possible.
Yeah, see, me too, and also Pearson wants
See-
to too. He's sick of He's seeing just another fucking street fight in action. He doesn't want that. He's trying to not be that anymore. Actively now.
Our easiest path, the path of the, I can't believe I'm saying this, the path of the least bloodshed would be Prince Eodrin.
Yep.
In order for us to put anyone else on the throne, we would have to deal with the prince.
Agreed.
And I don't think the prince would go quietly.
No.
He can tie all of this nonsense up in a bow by using his troops before any of this news ever spreads to fucking Coalhaven. We'd have to sorry, Bern, go ahead.
We could theoretically, if we were to convince them, it would have to be a very, very, very huge convince. We could theoretically say no to the prince's armies. Just ignore that. Try and get these werewolves to the Sunset Tower and have them as our allies. We would be giving them a new home. They would no longer be a problem to Coalhaven, and Coalhaven would again have a ruler.
Exactly. That was the whole thing that was keeping Prince Eodrin down here. Is like, I got this fucking werewolf problem, right?
Yeah,
we
and they're
solved
gone.
that problem. Now you can be king, dude.
I guess I could just fucking lie to him and say we eliminated them for you, my prince, so that you would not have to waste your time with it, and tell him the camp specifically, and he can look and see that they're all gone, and where's all the blood and the bodies at?
You know what? We could say we lured them into a trap.
If he asks this, maybe he might ask to see bodies or something. Maybe he wants to see his wife.
Okay.
This doesn't pertain to you guys are already finding ways around this, but I will remind you. Your characters have been told this again when you're talking about the path of least blood. It was mentioned that the prince would want to slaughter all of these people simply because they could expose that he did this.
Yes.
So it's not just a matter of giving him back the throne. He might try and just slaughter them to keep it quiet.
You know what? This is what we're gonna do. It's hard school blackmail, but that's what's gonna be. We're going to let them go, and we're going to go to the prince, and we're going to be like, you know what? We solved your werewolf problem, and this is what's going to happen.
No.
We know the truth.
No.
We know that. Yes, this is what we say. We say, they're gone. They're long gone. You no longer have a werewolf problem. I know you want to kill them, but that's too bad. You're not going to kill them. Why? What are we going to do about it? We know your secret, and we made sure other people know. We'll release it in case you try to kill us right now. So you have two choices, Prince. You can put your bloodshed set aside, man up, and run the fucking country, or you can chase after those wolves and have everyone know that you're the one who did it in the first place.
I think he chooses the third option, attempts to kill us.
We could also show
fine.
a force of power.
Or...
No. Let me finish.
We can just
let
say,
me,
okay,
let me finish.
All right. Well, you ended with the sentence, so okay.
We could show a force of power. I could try and get in touch with Olivia somehow, possibly through Kip and the ring, and try and get as many dragons just to land here to show, hey, we could do this if you don't play ball. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I could gather up some dwarves.
Here's
Fucking
the other
15
thing.
dragons light down.
Okay,
Do you want to be with us?
That's a good option, but why don't we do it simpler? I guess I'm saying that our blackmail implies a face-to-face conversation with them.
Yes.
Why don't we just send them a letter telling them what's happening? And just at the end, P.S., if you chase after them, we're going to tell everyone your secret. Or you can burn this letter and rule your fucking kingdom.
The
Up to
main
you.
concern with that is that he might not do what we're hoping for and replace his father. If we leave him on bad terms, he might not go to Ironhall and attempt to replace the king. We want a competent king who is going to assist the rest of the world in repelling the demons. We might not achieve that by sending him a letter and basically not only just fucking throwing sand in his face, but pissing in his cereal too and saying neener fucking neener.
Okay, then I'm all up for the intimidation idea, because that's the only way we resist all bloodshed. I don't want to kill these wolves, and we have to give them a reason to not go after them. I think that's the perfect way.
I think they're there's another way we can look at this. Which army do you want? Because we will not be able to have both. Would you like the werewolves or the humans?
The werewolves aren't even an army, I don't think. Werewolves
No,
are
there's
like
there are 200 people.
Yeah, they're 200 werewolves.
Look, we've seen lots of crazy shit in our day. I don't think commoners upgraded to werewolves are going to survive the fucking boar-faced demons we fought.
Compared to how
A
many
nation?
how many soldiers do you think he would actually devote to our cause when when he has to pick up the pieces of his father?
I don't know. You got a number for me on what the military strength of Cullhaven is like, Squee?
Okay.
Oh God, I
Here's
did it one time.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead, Inferno.
Oh, well, here's the thing. You're assuming it would incite a civil war. It wouldn't. It'd be a simple trial. People right now that are in Cullhaven's capital, they know that
Right.
the king is fucking nuts.
I think the king could be easily replaced by his son, or, as a matter of fact, anyone who would be next in succession in this case, provided strong enough to back it up. They can see.
Yeah.
And I will admit, as crazy as this is for me to say, I know Train that's approaching. I will advocate attempting to intimidate Prince Eodrin, because I think that gets us in a confrontation where we kill him and then take the girl.
So it's pretty much a win-win situation.
I mean, it doesn't
Either we get him
much,
blackmailed or we get the regent.
Oh my god, fucking kidnapping the goddamn regent.
But I mean,
I thought I was a good. At least
I know Trey. I thought he was a good man too, Trey.
I fucking
This is
killed the
you at the
dwarf
moment.
king. I fucking want to steal a 3-year-old girl. God damn it!
Here, just in the background,
what-
explosion.
what direction do we want to go? Because we diverged on that. Do we want to go with the werewolves or do we want to go with the humans? Because they will not fight together. We have
can
one
get
choice.
both.
We can't
can-
get both.
Yes,
They
we
will
can.
never fight together.
I am willing to throw my weight behind Pearson attempting to converse with them with his knowledge of vengeance and the hopes of moving and relocating these people to Sunset Tower, or at least with the hope of helping them discredit Prince Eodrin.
Yeah.
In the hopes of us propping up the 3-year-old girl.
Much like Grim said, it might you guys might want to do step one of the plan first, because if you convince them to move, you can move on. If the werewolves are like, screw that, we're not going anywhere or whatnot, then you might, you know what I mean? Like, you've
Yeah,
got
I guess.
steps to get through. Yeah.
Let's try that. Let's try and
Is it-
convince them.
Kriana, Piff, are you okay with maybe Inferno tries to talk with their werewolves first? We see whether they would be okay with relocating into a realm that doesn't judge them so much, or if they're truly dead set on this revenge thing.
I'm
Yeah,
good
with
with
that idea.
whatever. Honestly,
Okay.
I would, yeah. I like the idea of seeing what we can do
All right.
with the step one and seeing where that goes.
I just try to make
Great.
sure that everyone's involved. I'm in GM mode right now, Piff.
I hear you.
I am way okay with trying to relocate them. I am good with this step one. It may have no werewolf dead bodies, but that's just one thing we're just going to need to close at that point.
Yeah.
Yep, like, no matter, like, how likely I think it is, I think it's good to know whether the door is open or closed before we move on.
Agreed.
hmm
Now that I say that, there actually might be some dead bodies of werewolves if they've been battling for a while, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
and I'm trying to interject as little as possible because you guys are on a roll. So,
Yeah. Okay, so obviously Pearson is not going to be able to speak from the heart in rhyme, so he will have to write this down, because we got a few days anyway, right? So he can go over a few drafts. He'll write it down and then have another character say it. But for the sake of expediency, we can just have me say the words and just narratively say there was a different medium. Does that work?
Sure.
Yes, we can. Another option, and this would require the consent of both people, we could have since we don't want, Inferno to say something and someone else to repeat it, we could have Inferno do his best impression of whoever's speaking for him.
No, that's too much work for me as a
It'd
player.
either be that or having to write everything you wanted down in advance
Then we
and
will
giving
just,
it to someone else.
we'll just narratively.
I could write it down.
out.
If you give me 5 minutes, I can write it down, and then the character can say it. If you want to take a 5-minute break, I
am
can just
fine with
jot
that.
something down.
Yeah, the only reason why I'm worried a little bit is because the delivery will be just as important as the words.
Okay,
So
then let me... You know what? I might just get Finn to deliver this again.
Oh, boy.
She's a charisma wolf. No, I'm going to be giving you a script, so don't worry about it.
I think that's the best part. I know you had mentioned like Jerick reading it, but in all honesty, fucking Jerick.
All right.
bark.
All right,
Hello,
I'm going to
my
mute
fellow
myself.
Wolven brethren. How you doing? Great night, right? Yeah, how's everyone doing?
Well, I can let you guys know right now. It won't have to be Finn. When you go back, you will be speaking to human forms. So, I
spoiler.
know
Just
it's a
a
little
heads
bit
up.
of a spoiler, but I don't like. There's no
If-
point in making you guys think it has to be Finn when it doesn't.
Inferno's concern is that he doesn't want to speak to them because of his rhyming spell that's been placed on him. If he attempts to converse with them and he's rhyming all the time, it doesn't put weight so much on him as it makes him come across like a douche.
Right.
And these human form people are going to be like, fuck this asshole.
No. I get that. I just didn't want you to think that if it wasn't Pearson, it had to be someone that could speak wolf.
I think Inferno recommended her because of the charisma.
That's
More than
very
anything.
possible.
That's exactly
Yeah,
why.
okay. I did not think about that. My apologies.
She's
I'm
a
gonna go get a
good. She
drink.
has. Yeah. I
good at
gotta write
talking.
this down. So I'm gonna just actually take off my headset, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess King Jerick Veermal's gonna fucking get a drink too. What the fuck?
Hey, that idea is not off the table yet. I personally, as a GM, love this idea. Which is really weird because, you know what? Everyone who's watching, let me give you a really good tip for GMs. 90% of the time, you don't want your players to be king because they will abuse the hell out of it. I just happen to have one of the few groups of players that I would actually trust making a king. But I mean, like, if you guys think about it, like, think about the normal people that you've played with pen and paper games and all that. If you made them a king, oh, good lord.
Well, you made me a dragon,
Yeah, but not a dragon with any authoritative power.
so it's a dragon.
Could you imagine, like, take not you guys, because you guys love roleplay and love being fair. Take a normal D&D group and make one of them the king that the other people are citizens of.
Yeah,
That's a disaster waiting. That's a
I know.
civil war brewing right there.
yeah.
Do what I say. I don't want to. I'm your king. Well, F you.
I may or may not have had that in the past.
Yeah.
I've always loved the concept of like an NPC rolling up to a king being like really abusive and be like, "We need to dethrone him," and then like the player doesn't like what? Is there something wrong? Is something wrong with me doing this?
Yeah. How dare you not be respectful to the king? Really? Oh god, that's a great idea. Some GM somewhere has to do that. Oh my god, what if you started a campaign where everyone starts off like theoretically speaking, what if all your characters started off as the rulers of their respective nations?
Be freaking boring. Just sitting in a throne room for months.
You have to come up with some idea other than that. But yeah,
Jester, come forth.
you could do something. It's magic. You could magic it away with like a demon is holding their loved ones hostage or something that they have to be the ones to solve this or something. So you have just like an entourage of kings going around.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
I'm
no,
your
that would just be a
queen.
fun campaign.
Yeah. Your biggest problem? Convincing everyone. I am your king. Pff, right. Like our king would walk into this tavern.
See, what we need to do is knock one of us out and reel him around. Be like, do you know who this man is?
You're
His
all...
name is King Meal Ticket.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're all a meal ticket.
God, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Stop it, Kitty. Why are you being such a butt tonight?
I have rich.
Feed him. Feed him.
I did feed him. That's why I don't understand.
You didn't feed me good enough.
I guess not.
Do
Good
it
Lord.
again.
Fat tour.
He's been nipping at my
No.
heels all night.
I cannot wait for your cat to, like, you pour the food in, the cat's there, looks at the food, like, flips the bowl, and his mouths do it again.
Just mouths it. Doesn't actually words come out.
That is almost what he does when I offer him human food. Like, he will literally turn his nose up at it. Like, I'll offer him things like a piece of chicken or whatnot, and he'll sniff it, and then he'll just look at me like, really? Really? The hell is this? Get this out of here. Give me my processed tuna.
What's this?
Oh, sweet. Your cat has taste.
It's the craziest thing, too. I can give him chicken flavored wet food. He loves it. Actually try to give him the chicken? F that. That ain't cat food. Get that out of here. I am refined.
Get out of here. What the hell's up with you? Huh? Yeah? You wanna fight me?
Mofo.
I got you good. Got you real good. Oh my god, it's like 5 million degrees in this room!
How are you even alive then?
I don't know. Oh my god. Oh! Woo! Alright.
You okay?
Opening the window.
I see.
It's a good thing
Why
you're
do
not
I
in
feel like-
Texas.
Get out here.
I was gonna say, when in Texas, opening up the window is just gonna make it worse.
Really?
Oh God,
It's
yes.
like 55 right now, so it's kind of nice.
It is almost always
55?
Yeah.
Fahrenheit.
Jesus.
That feels really
That's
good, actually.
cold.
No, it's not.
It's nice.
Listen,
Pretty darn
Bird,
good. It's nice.
I
in the
shiver
spring-
at 60.
Fucking
Dude,
55, you fucking cunt holes. God damn it. It has fucking all of you die.
Whoa, what? I was about to say, dude, during winter it gets down to like -20 sometimes.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's ridiculous.
It is
I'm good. Oh,
it is
sorry.
86 degrees right now in my room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how it is normally over here.
It's
not
been-
over here.
It
It's
has been
normal.
triple digits into the 113 degree range
Whoa.
like for the
Oh.
past 2 weeks. Yes.
Disgusting.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
Wow, that's bad even for me.
That's ridiculous.
I'll pass.
All right, there's my text version of Pearson's speech.
No, all right.
This is so funny that Pearson isn't even gonna say it.
Okay, I am actually not gonna read this. I just want to experience
I want to
it
read
like
it
the
so I
wolves
don't
will.
die.
I will experience it like the wolves.
I'm gonna have to like retrain like all those speech classes I took. This is it. Okay.
This is
hang
the
on.
time. Did I ever tell you guys that I got an A on a speech project that I was supposed to have a visual aid for, and I didn't, and I convinced them that I was the visual aid?
What?
I pulled it out of like basically I literally forgot that it was that day, so I didn't prepare for it, and so I gave a speech. It was a speech with a visual aid, and what I did, I forget what the topic was. I think it was gun control or something, but I gave an impassioned speech about a point of view I did not actually have, right? And then I asked them how many people believed that I really was being honest about what I was saying. And of course, most of the room raised their hand, and I said, I do not think that way at all. And this speech is about how tone and passion and the way you say things can move an audience even if you don't believe what you're saying, and I am the visual aid. And I got an A. Now,
Okay.
Now, to be
I was
fair...
about to say that's kind of like, see how good of a liar I am, everyone. You can tell anyone anything
Yeah.
as long as it sounds like you believe it.
Right?
To be fair, it didn't fool my speech teacher. He pulled me out after class and said, I know what you did. I really liked it. So I gave you an A, but don't think I don't know what you did.
Gotcha.
What did I do? What did I do?
Wink.
Oh.